Hi, my name is Case, and the title of my science fair project is Eradicate the Roach. Roaches are pests. People consider roaches pests because of their size and body, which people consider gross. They are also transporters of bacteria that traverse through many dark and unclean areas. The goal of this project is to find an alternative to roach spray using common household chemicals. Consumers buy a lot of pest repellents. The pest control industry in the US is projected to generate revenue of some 17.4 billion US dollars by 2023. The chemicals used in this experiment are household chemicals that people are more likely to have than roach spray. The question in this experiment is, what household chemical is the best substitute for roach spray? My hypothesis was the results of the experiment will show the ammonia will be the best chemical substitute for roach spray because of the chemical properties that are usually used in insecticides. Ammonia, air freshener, bleach powder, and a window cleaner are poured into 4-ounce cups with lids filling up to 2 ounces and putting them in each corner. The number of roaches in each corner out of 15 are recorded in the digital logbook as they went into the container, and after 4 hours they are counted and recorded again. The roaches were poured into the container, and then the amount of roaches in each corner were recorded in the digital logbook. After experimentation, the containers were cleaned for the next trial, and chemicals were disposed of properly. To be able to analyze the data, I will find the mean of all the trials for each group tested and the standard deviation for each group tested. And then I will run a paired ANOVA test on the groups being compared to see if there's a statistical difference in the groups. Then I will create a bar graph for each group tested. The average amount of roaches in each corner before 4 hours was 23% for the ammonia corner, 11% for the window cleaner corner, 41% for the bleach powder corner, and 22% for the air freshener corner. After the roaches were placed into the container and allowed to sit for 4 hours with the chemicals, 8% gathered in the ammonia corner, 20% in the window cleaner corner, 40% in the bleach powder corner, and about 20% of the time the roaches stayed near the air freshener. A single factor ANOVA test was used to determine statistical significance. The data before the 4 hours had a p-value of 0.08, and the data after 4 hours had a p-value of 0.1, making the data not much of significance. It is to note that one roach died after trial 5, making the sample size 14 instead of 15 from then on. Also, in some trials, all the roaches cannot be counted as they are not in a corner. They are on the lid of the box hiding. Therefore, the averages do not reach 100% for the collection of the trials. In conclusion, my hypothesis was that ammonia would be the best alternative chemical to roach spray. My hypothesis was based on the fact that ammonia is widely used in industrial applications and also has a strong and offensive odor and toxic properties. The numerical results support my hypothesis. The roaches avoided the ammonia the most, but since the p-value was greater than 0.05, this was not statistically significant. Possibly a larger sample size may have increased the significance. The results were affected by the sudden death of one of the roaches, which may have affected the overall results and significance of the data. It was also cost prohibitive to provide a larger sample size. A new container had to be bought after it was realized that the container needed to be bigger to hold the roaches in the container better. The limitations from this experiment resulted from one of the roaches dying in the middle of experimentation. This allowed less data for the remainder of the experimentation. The time for experimentation was limited, as the experimentation was started late and I was only able to conduct 9 trials. The light in the room could not be replicated on all sides of the container, which may have affected the results. It had to be assumed that the roaches were all of the same health and were not going to die. For the future of this experiment, it could be improved by using different insects, different amounts of chemicals, and different chemicals or different types of insecticides. The execution and plan of the experiment could be improved on too by trying to make something that would efficiently transport insects from one container to another. I hope you enjoyed this presentation. Thank you.